Welcome back to more Sam's Garage, presented by NHOU. Bruce from Modern Driveline stops by Sam's Garage to help install a TKX 5-speed transmission with overdrive in a 1965 Pontiac GTO.
Today at Sam's Garage, we got a special guest. I got Bruce from Modern Driveline. We have a 65 GTO belonging to Michael. This thing's a 4-speed. He doesn't like it. He wants an overdrive so he can drive it better on the highway. And you brought us an entire kit.
I brought us a TKX 5-speed with overdrive.
Awesome.
We have basically part of our engineered solution here, all flywheel clutch, all the pieces necessary to put a TKX into a GTO.
So basically you can do this with a friend on a weekend without having to leave your house.
Yeah, and with a lift, you could do this in a day.
What we're going to do, guys, is take out the original 4-speed. We're going to remove the bell housing. We're going to check the clutch and change out the clutch disc itself. We'll look at the flywheel and see if it needs to be replaced or not. And then we'll go in with our new Modern Driveline Tremec TKX transmission. And there'll be very little modification to the cross member. The only real big mod is going to be the drive shaft.
Yeah, the drive shaft is going to have to be shortened because this unit is longer than the original Muncie. With the bell housing no longer parallel to the block or perpendicular to the crank, and then the issue then becomes it affects the centering. So once we have a problem with the centering, we have vibration, the input shaft, release, all kinds of other problems. So it is imperative that we are making sure all of this stuff is clean, flat. We want to check the bell housing for any kind of cracks before we go and do an installation. One of the key points of an installation is the type of clutch that we're using. Being that we can manufacture, we can control the pressure plate in both in its action, its ratio, lever height, and just the characteristics, because some cars can only use a 3-finger type clutch. When we go to a diaphragm, we're trying to update the technology. So whenever possible, we do use diaphragm. We make sure that we're using a double sprung hub, we're using a good quality component. We want the double riveting. We want quality facings. We can control what type of facing we're using. Kevlar is our go-to for a lot of solutions for the street and for performance, whether we're autocrossing, road racing, or just daily driving. So we'll put Kevlar on one side, and on the opposing side, we'll make a multi-friction out of it. Now the Kevlar brings us smooth engagement modulation, but it also gives us longevity and drivability. The Modern Driveline unit, we take the transmission from Tremec. 3 positions are available from the factory. However, when we're dealing with 4 speeds, we want the shifter, in a case like the GTO, to be offset to the left so that we can get the OEM position. So we've taken time to machine the case and relieve areas to gain more access to the shifter. And then, of course, now we're able to come up from the left-hand side through the existing hole without having to cut any of the sheet metal and use the OEM console. So the idea here is to make the transmission fit the car and not the other way around. And we've maintained this being completely sealed with a wet box. And so we've got all of the engineering that was originally done with the Tremec unit into our Modern Driveline side-shifted unit. And we have the ability to move the stick to 2 different locations, even within our own shifter.
Bruce and I got the complete TKX kit from Modern Driveline installed in the 65 GTO with just a couple hiccups like the body mounts.
Yeah, the body mounts is an important factor for tunnel clearance. You know, the car has settled over time. It's a full frame car, so we've lost probably a good 3/8 of an inch.
So we're going to gain that clearance by putting new body mounts on it. Right now the transmission is a little close to the tunnel, so we're going to fix that with body mounts tomorrow. And then that shifter fit really nice, considering this is an auto to manual conversion.
Yeah, because we can clearly see where the customer added the hump in.
And the TKX that you provided goes right in that spot.